trust these astronauts to report back on what they see. They're essentially scientists that are exploring space on our behalf. But a lot of people are unaware of the fact that many of our astronauts have spoken openly about UFOs.
Picture of some unidentified object in space. Once people saw that picture, they were convinced that it was an alien spacecraft.
This really was something anomalous, because when you think about satellites, normally you think maybe about something spherical or about something obviously manufactured. But this is all sorts of odd angles and curved edges.
Suddenly, a massive, mysterious structure appeared right next to the International Space Station, like something straight out of a sci-fi thriller. This station, floating high above Earth, isn't just a lab for science. It's a place where astronauts from different countries come together. Their photos show Earth as a fragile, beautiful place that we all need to protect. But now this unknown object throws everything into question. What is this thing, and what does it want with us? Let's uncover the secrets of this shocking new visitor in space. The Stargate near the ISS. The International Space Station is a quiet observer in space and an incredible place for scientific research. It also promotes global teamwork, showing how people from different countries can work together. Astronauts from many nations share their skills and knowledge to reach common scientific goals. This teamwork highlights the importance of unity in solving global problems and learning more about the universe. Photos taken from the ISS do more than just show Earth's beauty. They remind us how fragile our planet is. These images make us appreciate our home and inspire us to protect our environment. They give us a new view of our place in the universe and show how everything on our blue planet is connected. In a stunning image, we see Thomas Pesquet, a flight engineer from the European Space Agency, inside the International Space Station during Expedition 65. He's in the cupola module, known as the window to the world. This part of the station offers a breathtaking 360-degree view of outer space. When this photo was taken, the station was orbiting 263 miles above the Atlantic Ocean, between South America and Africa. From this special window, astronauts like Pesquet can see amazing views of Earth and space. The cupola acts as a giant window showing our planet's weather, landscapes, and vast oceans below. Astronauts can watch storms form, deserts spread out, and the deep blue of the oceans. But there's more to the cupola than its view. It's a key part of the space station that helps astronauts do their jobs. They use it to take photos and videos of Earth, which scientists study back home to learn more about our environment. The cupola also helps astronauts operate the space station's robotic arms and dock spacecraft. Floating between Earth and the stars, it offers not only scientific benefits, but also a strong connection between humans and the cosmos. The view from here is not only scientifically valuable, but also deeply moving, showing the beauty of our planet in the vastness of space. Then one day, a large round shape was seen floating in the sky just above Earth. This unusual sight caught everyone's attention. It seemed to hang still in the sky, sparking curiosity and many discussions among experts and the public. Everyone started to wonder where it came from and what it was. But this wasn't the most surprising part. Many ideas came up to explain this strange occurrence. Scientists and researchers worked hard to figure it out. What could that odd thing in the sky be? Some thought it might be a trick of light, a visual illusion caused by the sun and clouds. Others suggested it was a rare but natural event in the atmosphere. A few even believed it might be a man-made object, maybe an unidentified flying object. But this wasn't the most confusing part. The event led to many investigations. Experts and hobbyists alike tried to find out the truth behind this unusual sighting. Each theory came with its own arguments and evidence, making the debate even more interesting. People worldwide were talking about the floating circle, trying to understand its significance. In the photograph, one idea was that the object did not look like any known celestial bodies usually seen from Earth. This made the usual natural explanations doubtful. The object, which seemed to float in space, grabbed the attention of scientists, space enthusiasts, and the general public. Its unique look and size, along with the lack of familiar features, sparked curiosity and led to many discussions. Up next, a strange find catches our eye. The mystery of the unknown circular object. People noted its strange shape and the lack of recognizable markers, making it hard to compare to any known space object. This led to many debates and questions. People tried to figure out its origin and what it could be. Could it be space junk, a new asteroid, or something completely unknown? The lack of clear answers only made it more intriguing, as each idea seemed possible, yet this wasn't the strangest part. The discussion spread beyond scientific circles, becoming a popular topic for anyone interested in the vast and mysterious universe. This puzzling object in the photograph posed more questions than answers, pushing us to explore the unknown areas beyond our planet. A photo taken by flight engineer Thomas Pesquet showed a large, unknown circular object, starting many conversations about what it could be. A common thought was that this object was man-made, possibly a satellite, a piece of a spacecraft, or just space debris orbiting Earth. With many satellites and leftover space equipment spinning around our planet, it seemed likely that this object was another piece of human technology. It might be a fragment of an old satellite or remains from a past space mission. Ending one mystery about space, we start another with a discovery that changes everything. But figuring out what this object truly is proves difficult without more details. The photo alone doesn't give enough evidence to say for sure what the object is. This situation shows how challenging it can be to understand the data we collect from space. Observing space from the International Space Station gives us a unique view, but also comes with its own set of challenges and complexities. And this is not the only hard part. As we keep exploring and observing space, we are likely to find more unexplainable phenomena. These encounters make us ask more questions and dive deeper into the unknowns of space. A space station captured images of a strange object in the sky, showing the need for thorough scientific investigation and careful analysis. People quickly started guessing what the object could be. Some thought it might be an ancient artifact left by an advanced alien civilization, possibly acting as a gateway to distant galaxies. Others believed it could be a piece of ancient technology. But this isn't the end of the story. As we continue to explore, we might find answers or even more mysteries that make us rethink what we know about space. Highly advanced technology, way beyond what we currently know in space travel, has started big debates among scientists and sparked new interest in finding alien life and traveling between stars. Experts from many fields have come together to see if these ideas hold water. They are looking closely at the object, comparing it to known artifacts and technologies, and thinking about what this discovery could mean. The object didn't just catch the interest of scientists, it also grabbed the public's imagination. People everywhere were eager for updates, wanting to know more about this strange object. The talk spread from scientific circles to public forums, blogs, and news articles, where everyone shared their own ideas and explanations. But the most surprising part was yet to come. As scientists dug deeper, they used the latest imaging and spectroscopy technologies to study the object's makeup and origins. This careful approach slowly removed the uncertainties, giving a clearer picture of what the object might be. Each new finding was discussed at conferences and published in scientific papers, making the global conversation about our place in the universe even more exciting. Over time, people watching the skies have noticed strange flying objects in live camera feeds from the International Space Station. Astronauts have taken pictures of these odd objects, which have been acknowledged by space organizations around the world, showing that there are still many mysteries in space we don't understand. Now, a bright object stirs more curiosity: the enigmatic visitor in Earth's atmosphere. One specific event caught everyone's attention during a regular live broadcast from the space station. Viewers and experts were fascinated by a round object with bright lights moving through the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere. Like many other incidents, this one was watched by people all over the world, adding to the growing number of unexplained events beyond our planet. These incidents have sparked a lot of interest and debate among both professional and amateur space watchers. The constant observation of these objects challenges what we know about space. But this wasn't the most shocking part. As these sightings continue, they encourage us to keep looking up and questioning what we know, pushing the limits of our knowledge about the universe. As the object appeared against the curve of the Earth, it moved quickly and smoothly, almost like it was ignoring the rules of flight. Astronauts on the space station and many viewers watching live from mission control centers around the world were fascinated by this unexpected sight and quickly began to record and study the event. High-definition videos of this unidentified flying object were shared widely among international space agencies and scientists, leading to a wave of excited analysis. Experts looked closely at the images and were amazed by the object's sudden changes in direction and speed, its ability to stay perfectly still in space for long periods, and its sudden disappearance into the vastness of space. These actions didn't match those of typical space debris or satellites, hinting at something beyond our current understanding of aerospace technology. This unusual activity didn't just catch the attention of seasoned astronomers, it also sparked interest among amateur stargazers and the general public. People were intrigued by the strange behaviors against the starry backdrop. The possibilities of advanced propulsion technologies or even alien origins became hot topics of discussion on various platforms, from academic journals to online forums. As the investigation went on, scientists gathered data from various space instruments. Everyone in the scientific community was on edge, waiting for any new information that could help solve the mystery of this strange space visitor. The sighting became a big moment in space observation, reminding us how much we still don't know and why our quest for knowledge in space is so important. Just when we thought we had everything figured out, something new surprised us. This sighting sparked fresh interest in space research, making more people look up at the night sky, wondering what other wonders are out there. It showed why it's so important to keep exploring and how limitless the possibilities in space really are. These objects moved in ways that humans can't match right now, suggesting they might come from civilizations far more advanced than ours. This brings up the exciting idea of possibly communicating with beings from other planets. Maybe one day, we might even meet or talk with them. But it's more than just about science. Seeing unidentified flying objects from the International Space Station makes us question our place in the universe and what else might be out there. These objects fly in ways our best technology can't compete with. Are they using methods we haven't discovered yet? Could they have knowledge that we don't? This makes us think not only about other intelligent beings, but also how we might interact with them in the future. Could we communicate or visit them? This idea is exciting and changes how we understand life and technology. Watching these objects from space isn't just about technology. It's a deeply emotional experience that changes how we see ourselves in the universe. It makes us ask big questions. Are we alone? Are they watching us? Or could we join others in space someday? But this isn't the most surprising part. These questions touch on our biggest curiosities and fears about what lies beyond our world. Next, we explore what it means to not be alone, the potential risk of cosmic companions. The idea that we might not be alone in the universe is both exciting and a little scary. What would it mean if we found out we're not the only intelligent beings? This thought makes us rethink everything we know about life and our place in the universe. Imagine the possibilities of learning from civilizations that have been around much longer than ours. Communicating with these beings or visiting them could open up a whole new world of dreams and ideas. We might learn new sciences, technologies, and even ways to improve our lives. But here's another twist. What if these beings already know about us and are watching from afar? This adds another layer to our quest for knowledge and understanding. Exploring the vast darkness of space makes us rethink our place in the universe. It makes us wonder if humans are the only intelligent beings out there. These moments make us think about how big the universe is, what kinds of life might exist beyond Earth, and what these discoveries could mean for us. People have always been curious about unidentified flying objects. Even astronauts have shared amazing stories about their encounters. A famous astronaut, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth person to walk on the moon, played a key role in the Apollo 14 mission, which was special because it was the first to focus on scientific studies on the lunar surface. Mitchell and his team spent 9 incredible hours exploring the Fra Mauro Highlands on the moon. Edgar Mitchell, famous for his achievements in space, brought back much more than just moon rocks. His return to Earth began a deep change in how we think about life beyond our planet. This new way of thinking included not just scientific ideas, but also deep thoughts about what our space travels could mean. Mitchell's ideas didn't just make people curious. They made us rethink our place in the universe. His thoughts on extraterrestrial life fascinated people all over the world, especially because he had a unique view from the exciting time of the space race. His experiences as an astronaut influenced his interest in UFOs and life outside Earth. He didn't stop at just wondering about these things. Mitchell worked hard on scientific studies to back up his theories with real evidence. His endless search for knowledge and willingness to think differently made him an important figure in both science and UFO research. Mitchell was known for questioning common beliefs and looking into ignored ideas. His journey into this field started in 1948 when he joined the military, leading him to amazing discoveries that pushed the limits of what we know on Earth and in space. His theories and findings, although often controversial, sparked wider debates about our understanding of the universe and encouraged many to think about the vast, unexplored potentials that exist. His work showed his dedication and continues to inspire discussions about the possibility of extraterrestrial life, sparking interest among scientists, academics, and space enthusiasts alike. His story as an astronaut brings fresh insights into the cosmos, leading to ongoing conversations that explore new ideas about life in the universe. Edgar Mitchell was not only a skilled pilot trained by the U.S. Navy, his excellent flying skills and commitment got NASA's attention, and in 1966 he started his astronaut training. After retiring from active duty, Mitchell talked openly about strange events happening beyond our world, including personal experiences during the Apollo 14 mission. While this mission was crucial, the strange events during it went mostly unnoticed as the astronauts did their scientific work. These baffling incidents shocked the world. Moving on, a special mission reveals new mysteries. Mitchell's supernatural mission. During this mission, Mitchell believed he encountered a supernatural force, a key moment in his career that deepened his interest in unexplained phenomena. His story, filled with unexplainable events, kept people intrigued, always stirring their curiosity about the endless possibilities of space. Mitchell's interest in the mysteries of the human mind grew even more after his time in space. While orbiting Earth on Apollo 14, he didn't just do his astronaut job, he also explored psychic abilities like telepathy. In the vastness of space, he felt a deep change inside him, something that shaped the rest of his life. Back on Earth, Mitchell kept studying these strange phenomena. He claimed to have communicated telepathically with psychics during his mission. This drove him to keep exploring, and he set up the Institute of Noetic Sciences to study the power of human consciousness. Mitchell's curiosity didn't end there. He also believed in UFOs. In a 1996 interview, he said he had proof of UFO encounters and criticized the U.S. government for hiding information about them. His statements stirred up debates about aliens and government secrecy. Even though some were skeptical, Mitchell was sure these encounters were real and needed serious investigation. His strong beliefs and public statements sparked discussions about extraterrestrials and government transparency. His work made people question conventional science and consider that there might be more to the universe than we think. Many of these UFOs are triangular and move in ways that seem to defy physics, showing flight abilities far beyond any known technology. They change direction and speed quickly, leaving observers amazed. The sunlight reflecting off these objects makes their shapes and movements very clear. But there's more to this story. Astronauts on the International Space Station have described seeing these UFOs in detail. They say the objects maintain precise formations and sometimes change their flight paths abruptly, almost like they're performing a dance in space. These reports from trained astronauts make the sightings more credible and important. Claims against NASA. Anonymous is the digital vigilante of the internet world. This group started in the early 2000s and became famous for hacking into big companies, governments, and organizations to expose secrets. They wear those cool Guy Fawkes masks, you know, from the movie V for Vendetta. Now the big news, Anonymous has just claimed to have hacked into NASA's computer system, and they claim that the stuff they have found is mind-blowing. One of their members came out and said they found some super secret files. These files supposedly show that NASA has been seriously looking for advanced life forms. Not only that, but they have actually made some kind of contact with aliens. According to Anonymous, NASA has been keeping all of this secret. They say these files prove that NASA has known about alien life for a while now, but has not told us. One of the Anonymous members even said that we are on the verge of finding evidence of alien life. They are saying that this discovery is going to be one of the biggest in history. Another member of Anonymous said they talked to people with high-level security clearances who confirmed everything. These insiders apparently said that the US government and NASA know all about UFOs. Not only do these unidentified objects exist, but they have also been spotted near military bases and other sensitive locations. According to them, these UFOs can move at insane speeds and outmaneuver our fastest jets. So the government is keeping quiet because they cannot control these objects. Now, Anonymous does not say they found this information first, but they feel it is their duty to spread the word. They want everyone to know that we are part of something much bigger. They believe we should start having more open conversations about our place in the universe. They also want us to listen to people who have seen these strange aircraft. According to Anonymous, NASA has known about these UFOs for a long time, and people who have tried to talk about them have been shut down. Some former government workers have even said they were stopped whenever they tried to discuss this topic. While we wait for Anonymous to release these said files and tell us more about this big secret, we just wish the same thing does not happen to Anonymous that happened to Gary McKinnon 2 decades ago. Do you know who Gary was and what the government did to him? Gary McKinnon. Gary McKinnon is the guy who pulled off one of the biggest hacks of all time. If you have never heard of him, brace yourself to hear what he dared to do. Gary McKinnon is now a Scottish systems administrator and hacker, but he is not just any average computer geek. Born in 1966, Gary had a pretty normal upbringing. He was into computers and technology from a young age, which led him to become a systems administrator. It was nothing too out of the ordinary, but Gary had a fascination with UFOs and conspiracy theories, which took his tech skills to a whole new level. In the early 2000s, Gary decided to use his computer skills to satisfy his curiosity about UFOs. He believed that the US government was hiding information about extraterrestrial life and advanced technology. So he took it upon himself to find out the truth. What he did next would go down in history. Between 2001 and 2002, Gary hacked into 97 US military and NASA computers from his girlfriend's aunt's house in London. He also used to do something funny. He would use the name Solo and leave messages on the hacked systems, calling the US military security crap. Gary said he was looking for evidence of UFOs, free energy technology, and government cover-ups. And the wild thing is that he claims he found it. Gary said he discovered a lot of interesting stuff. One of the most talked about things he found was a document titled Non-Terrestrial Officers. He claimed this list contained the names of US military personnel who were supposedly part of a secret space fleet. He also said he found images of UFOs and detailed information about how the government was hiding advanced technology from the public. But all of this came at a huge cost. The US government was not happy about Gary's little adventure. They accused him of causing $700,000 worth of damage to their systems and launched a massive effort to bring him to justice. The US wanted to extradite him to face charges, which could have landed him in prison for up to 70 years. Not just that, but the US wanted to execute him. Gary's case became huge. He was arrested in 2002 by British authorities, but fought extradition to the US for over a decade. His supporters included human rights groups and celebrities. They agreed that his actions were illegal, but they also argued that they were driven by a genuine belief in government transparency and a desire to uncover the truth about UFOs. They also pointed out that Gary was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which they argued should be taken into account. The case went on for years. In 2012, the British government finally blocked his extradition. This decision was a huge relief for Gary and his supporters, but it left a lot of questions unanswered. What exactly did he find? Why was the US so determined to prosecute him? And most intriguingly, was there any truth to his claims? Gary never addressed the public after the case ended. Many believe he was pressured to keep quiet about what he found. There are rumors that he was warned or even threatened to ensure he would not reveal any more information about his findings. Even though Gary McKinnon was not able to tell us everything about his findings, we do have some other proof of extraterrestrial life. So what proof is there that aliens do exist? UFO sightings. On June the 24th, 1947, a private pilot, Kenneth Arnold, was flying his plane near Mount Rainier. Suddenly, he saw 9 shiny objects zooming through the sky toward his aircraft. He estimated they were flying at a speed of about 1,200 miles per hour. To give you some context, That was around 3 times faster than any plane could fly back then. It was a crazy sight for him. It is. While Arnold was still trying to make sense of what he saw, over in Richland, Washington, a guy named L.G. Bernier also reported seeing something strange in the sky. He spotted 3 of these mysterious objects flying toward Mount Rainier at about the same time Arnold had his encounter. Was it just a coincidence? Probably not. After that, in Yakima, Ethel Wheelhouse claimed to have seen high-speed flying objects too. The wild thing is that the time she saw them matched up with Arnold's sighting. On the same day, people in Seattle also reported seeing these fast-moving discs in the sky. If it were just 1 or 2 people, we could maybe brush it off. But so many people from the same area saw the same thing. That is a lot harder to dismiss. After 10 days, a United Airlines crew flying over Idaho had a similar encounter. They saw flying objects that looked just like the ones Arnold described. These objects were following their plane. After Arnold's sighting, it seemed like everyone started seeing these saucer-shaped crafts. Reports came flooding in from all over the world, and the term UFO, or unidentified flying object, became famous. And just when things couldn't get any weirder, along came the Roswell Incident. This is one of the biggest and most controversial UFO stories ever. It happened in the first week of July 1947. A rancher named W.W.W. Mac Brazel found some strange wreckage on his land about 75 miles northwest of Roswell, New Mexico. This was not any typical farm debris. There were metallic fragments, rubber strips, and some weird paper-like material. Now he knew everywhere in the world people were talking about UFOs, so Brazel thought he might have stumbled upon something extraterrestrial. So what he did was report it to the local sheriff, George Wilcox, who then called in Major Jesse A. Marcel from the Roswell Army Airfield. Major Marcel inspected the wreckage, both at the sheriff's office and the crash site. The military got involved pretty quickly. In fact, the Army Air Force issued a press release saying that they had recovered a flying disc. Naturally, the media went crazy over this news. This was the first real evidence that we might not be alone in the universe. But then, just as quickly as the story broke, it fell apart. The military retracted their statement and said it was just a weather balloon. This sudden change of story, along with the swift removal of the debris, started conspiracy theories. People were not buying it. They felt the government was covering something up. The story lay low for a while, but in 1987, British ufologist Timothy Good fueled the rumors once again. He revealed a document that talked about a secret group called Majestic 12. According to this document, this group was tasked with investigating and hiding the truth about the Roswell incident. The document even suggested that what was found was not just a crashed aircraft, but the body of an extraterrestrial being. That's what we know about the Roswell incident for now. We can only make our theories from here. But this was just the beginning of many strange UFO sightings. Who else saw these unidentified flying objects in the sky? From what we know of our history, it seems like the government acted as a buffer between the public and the strange phenomena happening in our skies during the Cold War. Did you know between 1947 and 1969, more than 12,000 UFO sightings were recorded? This was the time when Project Blue Book was started. It was a top-secret initiative with the mission to determine whether these unidentified flying objects were harmless or posed a real threat to national security. Despite the apparent knowledge of extraterrestrial visits, the government was not ready to share this information with the public, but people kept their eyes peeled and continued to report what they saw. One such incident took place on August 21st, 1955, in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. The Sutton family and their friends experienced something extraordinary that night. Billy Ray Taylor, a family friend, went out to fetch water. When he returned, he claimed to have seen a mysterious object gliding silently over their home. Initially, everyone thought Billy Ray was joking, but soon they all witnessed it themselves. The family described seeing a small, glowing figure with an oversized head and talon-like hands. Its eyes were bright yellow. Naturally, the Suttons did what anyone in their situation would do. They grabbed their guns, but no matter how much they fired, the little man seemed to flip and vanish like a ghost. The next day, the police conducted a thorough search of the property, but found no evidence. Each member of the family described the events in the same way, so it means none of them were lying either. Instead of taking their story seriously, a self-proclaimed paranormal investigator suggested that the family had mistaken owls for alien beings. Really? Since when do owls have glowing eyes and humanoid bodies? And the strange occurrences did not end there. Skinwalker Ranch, a 500-acre property, has been a famous site of weird activity for decades. There have been reports of crop circles appearing overnight, cattle being found completely drained of blood, and sightings of a massive wolf-like creature that seems invulnerable to bullets. Robert Bigelow, who is a Las Vegas real estate tycoon with a strong interest in UFOs, purchased the ranch for $200,000. He was intrigued by the rumors of paranormal activity. After Bigelow's ownership, the ranch changed hands multiple times and eventually became a research hub for unexplained phenomena. A particularly crazy incident occurred on March 12, 1997. At the time, the ranch was under surveillance by Bigelow's National Institute for Discovery Science. That night, biochemist Colin Kelleher spotted a huge humanoid figure watching the facility from a tree. It was as unsettling as it sounds, and it gets even stranger. Next to the ranch is Bottle Hollow, a 420-acre reservoir on Ute land. In 1998, a police officer saw a massive light plunge into the reservoir, only to shoot back out and disappear into the night sky. This was not a hallucination, people. It was a genuine UFO sighting. These incidents are far from isolated. Our history is full of similar stories that have been downplayed or covered up, from NATO's exercise main base sightings in the North Atlantic to the disappearance of an F-89C Scorpion jet pilot in 1953, and the strange lights over Lubbock, Texas in 1951. The list goes on. People from all walks of life, scientists, military personnel, and everyday citizens have reported seeing things they can't explain. You might be tempted to dismiss these as mass hysteria or elaborate pranks, but when you consider the sheer number of reports from credible sources spanning different times and places, it makes you think twice. And if these stories made you gasp or lean in towards your screen, just wait until we tell you about a place in America that is rumored to be the epicenter of extraterrestrial research, Area 51. Present in the heart of the southern Nevada desert is a location called Area 51, and it is the stuff of legend. This super secretive spot covers over 90,000 acres. It is so secretive that the US government only told about its existence in 2013. So, what's with all the mystery? It is said that Area 51 is a hub of classified activities. You won't find traditional fences here. Instead, the perimeter is marked with orange poles and signs that sternly warn of the use of deadly force against trespassers. This place is serious about keeping its secrets. The stories that have turned Area 51 into a modern myth started in 1989, thanks to a guy named Robert Lazar. Lazar claimed he worked on alien technology inside the base. He even said he had seen autopsy photos of aliens, and that the US government was studying otherworldly spacecraft at this facility. Later, it turned out he might have lied about his employment, but by then, the damage was done. Area 51 had already cemented its place in UFO folklore. Even if we set Lazar's claims aside, Area 51 still looks suspicious. Reports of strange aircraft sightings in the area date back to the 50s and 60s. Many people claim they have seen UFOs flying around. And why all the secrecy, though? The government says that Area 51 is a testing ground for new aircraft and advanced technology. But honestly, the level of secrecy is enough to make anyone suspicious. Is it just about national security, or is there something more extraterrestrial going on? The government keeps insisting that there is nothing extraordinary happening at Area 51, but the constant stream of unexplained phenomena suggests otherwise. Whether it is mysterious lights in the sky or strange aircraft that don't fit any known design, the stories just keep coming. So what's really happening at Area 51? The truth is, we may never know for sure, but what we know is that some people claim they were once abducted by aliens. Have you heard their stories? Alien abductions. This is the most famous alien abduction story ever. The case of Betty and Barney Hill. On a cool September evening in 1961, this couple was driving back home to Portsmouth after a relaxing vacation in Niagara Falls. The night was clear, stars twinkling in the sky, when suddenly a strange light caught their attention. This light seemed to be moving in the sky. It grew brighter and more persistent as they drove. The couple grew curious, so they pulled over to take a closer look. Betty grabbed a pair of binoculars, and through the lenses, what she initially thought was a star changed into a spinning object hovering just above the treetops. Barney took his gun and stepped out to get a better look. What he saw made him turn to stone. He spotted some strange, gray-colored beings peering back at him from behind the windows of the flying object. When Barney tried to draw his pistol, he felt an invisible force preventing him from doing so. At that moment, he realized they were about to be captured. Barney panicked and dashed back to the car, and as they sped away, their minds clouded over, becoming drowsy, and then nothing. When they woke up, they found themselves at home. Their clothes were dirty and ripped, their watches had stopped working, and they had no memory of the strange encounter. To ease their growing unease, the couple sought help from a psychiatrist. After a series of hypnosis sessions, they slowly began to remember what had happened to them. The Hills recounted that they had been taken aboard the alien craft, where they were examined by beings with large eyes. These beings collected samples from their bodies, like clipping their nails, plucking their hair, and scraping their skin, and placed the samples into clear bottles. There was also a leader who observed silently from the corner of the room. After the examination, their memories were wiped clean and they were sent on their way. Once the Hills regained their memories, they shared their terrifying story with the world. Their account broke in 1965, turning Betty and Barney from ordinary citizens into central figures of a UFO phenomenon. But the Hills were not the only ones. Let's move forward to November 5th, 1975. Travis Walton was working with 6 colleagues in the dense Sitgreaves National Forest near Heber, Arizona. As the workday ended, they sat in their truck, ready to head home. But something strange happened that night. They spotted a bright, saucer-shaped UFO hovering about 20 feet above a clearing. Walton was super curious, so he stepped out of the truck to get a closer look. Suddenly, a blue-green beam of light from the craft struck him and knocked him to the ground. His crewmates panicked by looking at all this and sped off. But then they felt guilty and returned, only to find Walton missing and the UFO gone. For 5 agonizing days, Walton was nowhere to be found. Then, as mysteriously as he had disappeared, he reappeared, dazed and disoriented, miles away from his last known location. Walton claimed to have fleeting memories of being aboard the craft and undergoing examinations by unfamiliar beings. However, he lost consciousness during the event and could only recall fragments. This incident became one of the most documented and controversial UFO encounters. The exact location of the event was later burned in the Rodeo Chudisky fire in 2002, and the old logging road was decommissioned. But the mystery of what happened to Travis Walton that night remains alive, even after 50 years. Reports of alien abductions have come from many countries, especially in English-speaking regions like the US. Despite these numerous accounts, the government does not seem too eager to investigate further. Maybe they don't want to believe in aliens, or maybe they do, but don't want us to know. Whatever their reasons, the explanations they offer often feel dismissive. They suggest that abduction stories are just products of mental health issues, particularly sleep paralysis. Sure, sleep paralysis is a real condition, but chalking up every alien encounter to sleep paralysis seems a bit too convenient. And how do you explain multiple people having the same experience simultaneously? They also argue that memories recovered under hypnosis are unreliable. They say that these memories come from movies, media, or imagination. But this explanation is as bogus as the rest of the government's responses. The government has carried out some perfect cover-ups for the past years, and those were as ridiculous as these explanations. But what exactly was there that the government covered up? Government's cover-ups. Let us tell you about some of the most obvious government cover-ups ever. First, let's go back to July 7, 1947. A man named William Rhodes took some photos of a strange object flying over Phoenix, Arizona. These photos were published in local newspapers and quickly caught the attention of Army Air Force Intelligence and the FBI. They convinced Rhodes to hand over the negatives, promising to return them. But guess what? He never saw those photos again. They ended up classified in Air Force UFO reports, hidden from the public. Then in 1967, a memo from USAF Lieutenant General Hewitt Wheelis came to light. In this memo, Wheelis mentioned that unknown people, pretending to be military personnel, were threatening civilians who reported UFO sightings. They even took their film and told them to keep quiet. This shows a clear pattern of evidence suppression. And then there was the Roswell Incident, probably the most famous of all. In 1978, UFO researcher Stanton Friedman interviewed Jesse Marcel, who was a key witness to the Roswell debris. Marcel's story contradicted the official explanation that the wreckage was just a weather balloon. He described details that suggested something much more extraordinary. Another example involves astronaut Gordon Cooper. In 1957, Cooper reported that a clear UFO film shot at Edwards Air Force Base was taken by the military and never seen again. Other witnesses confirmed Cooper's story, which gave it more credibility. Conspiracy theories did not stop with these incidents. Authors like George C. Andrews and Bill Cooper linked UFO cover-ups to broader government conspiracies. They even suggested that President Kennedy was assassinated because he was planning to expose alien secrets. This might sound crazy, but could be true. And then in recent years, credible sources have come forward with shocking claims. David Grush, who is a former U.S. Department of Defense intelligence officer, made headlines in June 2023. He claimed that the government had recovered alien technology and aircraft. He was not alone. His statements were supported by former Pentagon colleagues and whistleblowers Christopher Mellon and Jonathan Gray. In July 2023, Grush testified under oath during the first Congress hearing on UFOs. He offered to name others who knew about a secret U.S. government crash retrieval program, which has been allegedly hiding evidence of alien encounters since World War II. So if this is all true, why doesn't the government just tell us about extraterrestrial life? Some say it is to avoid public panic, but others wonder if there is something bigger they are not telling us. Critics argue that it would be incredibly difficult to keep such a massive secret for so long, especially across different countries and political parties. Yet the silence from the government on UFO matters is intriguing. Are they trying to protect us from something we are not ready to handle? Or is there another reason they are hiding everything from us? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more mysteries uncovered, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we have got a lot more of this. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.